I was in a head-on collision with someone who wasn't supposed to be driving, and I was in an accident and thrown on top of their car. I was in a motorcycle.
I mean, he was wearing his helmet. He always was a safe driver, but I always was worried about the other people. All the EMT workers knew him, that took him and got him to the hospital in record time. And then a lot of people in the ER know him, and people surrounded us with love and prayers. And we got through that first night thanks to everybody in the ER that, they got him intubated. They didn't think they were going to be able to because of all the facial fractures. You can see this side was a lot of facial fractures. The orbital floor has been rebuilt. And the only cut anywhere else on his body was on his arm, and it was a pretty big gash, but it was mostly to his head. And of course the TBI that we learned about a little bit later, the axonal shearing in his brain was the biggest damage.
For my surgery rotation, I was on trauma and acute care surgery. So as part of that, you round and kind of take care of all the patients who are recovering from any sort of traumatic event. And so that's kind of how I first encountered you guys. The fact that every single day when we would go in as a team of doctors to kind of check and provide updates and talk about the plan, that Melody was constantly asking, can we be doing anything more? I know he's not talking right now, but how are we making it so that when he does start talking again, that'll be easier? Or are there better ways to be positioning his hands or his feet? And things like that. And they seem small, but she was always looking at the, 6 months, 1 year outlook and believing that he would recover. That showed me a lot because I would then go to the next patient's room and there wouldn't be a person in there to advocate.
I felt like I was a squeaky wheel.
Yeah, you were, but in a good way, and no one faulted you for that. And that's, in my opinion, how patients get the best care. And I think it's one of those things that you're taught in medical school to, listen to patients and their families, because it really is like a shared decision making. But then when you get in the moment and there's so much going on, it's very easy to think that you know medically what's best. But that's not the way we practice medicine. And so, if the family feels strongly, then listen, because, they're with their person every single day, every minute. And if we're only in there for, 15 minutes a day, we're following on the lab results and what the other professionals say, but it's not the same. And if you're really providing good care, that involves the family.
From my standpoint, that's the biggest thing, is knowing that the person calling the shots cares. They really care. And it means so much when you know that the person cares.
This is why you're studying. This is why you're spending 2 years just reading about, how nerves and neurons work, so that you can provide care to someone like this and be a small part of a huge story.